another episode of Coin Edition. I'm your host. I'm Cristiano Ariston Anthony. And today I've got with me a very special guest. He is the global CEO of the World Web3 project. And today I have with me Ivan. And Ivan, it's really a pleasure to have on our show. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. So actually, the WoW Summit is coming in 1 month. So like a little bit more than 1 month on 26th, 27th of March. And I think it's the hottest time for us right now, preparing everything for this flagship event in Hong Kong.
Right. So our listeners are interested in knowing more about this WoW Summit. So can you please introduce about what this summit is all about and what are your plans?
Sure. So WoW Summit is World of Web3. So and this is a series of events happening around the globe and focused on Web3 technology and the transition from Web2 to Web3.
Okay.
So it's not only the event, it's actually we're trying to build the platform for the dialogue between startup founders, corporates, government, investors, service providers, so basically like all the ecosystem players. So this year we will host 6th edition of WoW Summit. So the first WoW Summit was organized in Dubai in 2021. And then, so we had events in Dubai, in Lisbon, last year in Hong Kong, then again in Dubai, and this year we are again starting with Hong Kong. I think this will be the biggest WoW Summit we ever held.
Right. Brilliant. So, you've been having this summit in different parts of the world. Okay. So how different are regulations? Can you specify some of the countries that are like easy on crypto as far as regulations are concerned?
Yes, you're right. So we hosted this event in different locations since 2021.
Right.
And what I can say that actually regulations are evolving almost at all major locations. Okay. So if you look back in 2021, so like when the first WoW Summit was hosted in Dubai, and compare like to the current status of regulations, so we will see many differences. In example, in 2023, when we organized the event in Dubai in October, 2 days before the event, we were asked by VARA, by Virtual Assets Regulation Authority, to submit the special form for every exhibitor, where exhibitors must acknowledge the responsibility for advertising coins, ICOs, profits, whatever. So, and this was kind of like shock for many of our exhibitors, but what to do? So they need to submit this form.
Okay.
So regulations are changing a lot, like across the globe. And an example in Hong Kong, so where I'm based for more than 8 years, and I'm in the space in Web3 and crypto space since 2017 here. So in 2017, it was this crazy time with all these ICOs coming to Hong Kong, trying to raise money. It was a gray area. So later on, Securities and Futures Commission of Hong Kong implemented different kind of restrictions for ICOs. And I would say like that 2020, 2021, so we're like quite uncertain in Hong Kong, and many crypto firms they left Hong Kong because SFC actually implemented a regulation that so virtual assets could be offered legally only to like institutional investors.
Right.
So, but in 2022 at Hong Kong FinTech Week, so Hong Kong government announced that they have an intention to make Hong Kong Web3 hub, and so to implement new regulations for virtual asset trading platforms and welcoming like all the Web3 businesses to Hong Kong. And right now, after the implementation of the licensing regime, so we see like I think another stage of the market here. So, and upcoming regulations on stable coins announced by Hong Kong government, I think also will change the local landscape a lot. But if we are talking about like jurisdictions which are quite friendly to cryptocurrencies, I would say last year I was in Philippines, and I was really shocked that so Bitcoin is accepted there as for the payment in like small shops, like selling some T-shirts, tourist souvenirs, and like anything else. So I believe these kind of countries, so developing countries, are one of the markets like where the crypto will be adopted. And it's really great to see like how it's happening, and it's also giving like unbanked population the opportunity to pay to receive money, to receive like the goods and whatever. Yeah.
Right. So it just shows that crypto has been, embraced by almost like all countries, like even third world countries like the Philippines. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, of course, the major jurisdictions for crypto, such as South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, European countries, US, I think they're implementing more and more regulations in terms of like regulating the crypto market, protecting the investors. So trying to make it like more regulated, but if we're talking about like developing countries like Philippines, like Ecuador, like any other developing countries, I think for many of them, crypto sometimes it's still like in the gray area. However, people can operate, and so exchanges can exchange, and like OTC desk can like also provide the services, and even like shops can accept the crypto. So I think this is these countries are one of the markets where crypto will really adopt.
Right. Brilliant. So so now coming back to Hong Kong, we know there are a few restrictions where crypto can only be sold to institutional investors, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And also there's yeah.
There was this kind of restriction, but for now, so retail trading is allowed in Hong Kong.
Okay.
So so honestly speaking, if we look back in the history like of Hong Kong and regulations of crypto here, so Bitcoin was considered by HKMA and by SFC as not as a security but as a commodity.
Okay.
So and holding crypto or even like transferring crypto or selling crypto from person to person, it's legal. I mean, nothing illegal is here.
Okay.
But if we are talking about exchanges, so serving Hong Kong population and Hong Kong residents, so then of course before these regulations, it was kind of like somehow gray market, because Hong Kong people, they could open the bank their account on, in example, on Binance or any other crypto exchange.
Okay.
But of course, and do some like P2P trading. But at the same time, so if it was coming to the bank transfers to exchange or whatever, so it was always the risk of closing the bank account or additional questions from the banks. Right. So, but now with new licensing regime for virtual asset trading platforms, so we have 3 licensed entities. So one is OSL, another one is, and the third one is Victory Securities, which are allowed to serve retail customers. So and right now, so they have the license from SFC. And an example, so I opened the account on OSL, and I can transfer my fiat to OSL from my HSBC account without like worries that my bank account will be closed because of operating with like virtual assets. and if my bank will ask me, so where do you transfer? I will say like I transfer to a licensed entity, licensed by SFC. So what can you do? I think this is like the big move in terms of like regulating and licensing the exchanges in Hong Kong. And also like this virtual asset knowledge test, which every of this exchange must implement.
Yeah.
So I think it's not difficult to pass it for people who understand like what is cryptocurrency and like what is trading of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But for majority of people, example like just regular people that don't know much about like crypto and trading, so they need to learn something, and I think it's good to learn something before investing in any cryptocurrencies or like trading on exchange. So I believe it's good, and especially this helps to avoid the situations which happened in Hong Kong for the last several years.
Yeah.
With all these like major crypto scams and exchanges scams like AAX, JPX. So where like many people, they just lost their money, and actually like many crypto scams are still ongoing here. So so police and SFC trying to protect people, but in fact, like many, in example, elderly people or people who actually don't know about new technologies, an example like deep fake videos or whatever.
Yeah.
So they still believe they see like the picture on Facebook of some government official advertising some kind of coin, and they don't understand that this is fake. So they trust the media, they trust the like social media, and they send money, they invest money, so and they just got scammed.
Right.
So this is kind of like, so all these things like about the knowledge test for virtual assets and some regulations and licensing, I think it's like will protect retail, like simple people from the loss.
Well, talking about scams, it just reminds me of JP Morgan's CEO, Jamie Dimon, if I'm not mistaken. He called that crypto, the only use case for crypto was for drug trafficking, for some illegal activity, for like promoting terrorism, something like that. So what are your thoughts on this? Is it because the banking sector is seeing a lot of people, moving from their financial activities into crypto, or are they trying to close their own nakedness by showing that crypto is, like more scams, like there are more scams happening in crypto when there were like billions of dollars, of scams which happened in the banking sector. So what do you think, actually Jamie Dimon was trying to convey?
I think if we're talking about scams and some criminal activities, so it's happening not only in crypto, and the majority of this is happening not in crypto. So if we are talking an example like about Hong Kong, so the majority of the scams are happening on like telephone scams when like elderly people got like telephone call from someone and like transferring like millions of Hong Kong dollars to someone. So it's not like with crypto. And as many people know, like, and also like many scandals and publications about the traditional banks that were like laundering the money from different kind of like criminal groups or whatever. So there are like many news like this. And if we are talking about crypto itself, I mean, if we are talking about blockchain technology itself, if it's properly implemented, so every transaction from every like wallet can be 100% traced, which actually we don't have like in traditional banking. So every bank is kind of like the black box where you cannot track anything. So and in blockchain, so you can basically like track everything, and so I do believe that also many of these traditional institutions, and what I see, so they are all inside the market already. I mean, like inside the crypto and virtual assets, and they're adopting the blockchain technology, and they are like setting up the special positions for the and like the director for virtual assets, whatever. And I think, especially given the new regulations in Hong Kong, Dubai, in Europe, in US, so if there is like the exchange or company which is licensed by the government, if there are companies which are like doing their business and comply with all the regulations by the local government, so banks, they must serve them. So they cannot like avoid that, and they need to be in the market and to understand the market. So and I think this is like they cannot avoid this. So they will be in this market. They are in this market, and so the recent approval of Bitcoin ETF by SFC is a good example of that.
Right, brilliant. So again, back to Wow Summit. Like we have something called a startup pitch competition, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what's this about? Can you explain it to our listeners?
So so startup pitch competition is our initiative, which is a part of every Wow Summit since the beginning. So startups, so Web3 startups, no matter like which area, but they must utilize the blockchain technology. So they can participate in this competition. It's completely free for them.
Right.
And so they're applying, like they are sharing the information about their project, pitch deck, stage, like information about the team, about founders. So pretty much the similar process as if they are applying for any kind of like accelerator or whatever. Right. So and then from all these applications, so we are selecting 10 finalists, which actually, so this year we'll get the free booth at Wow Summit. So this is like the prize from us. Right. We'll have 2 business networking tickets. They will have the opportunity to pitch from the stage at Wow Summit to more than 50 VCs and investors we are partnering with. So and they will also receive the prizes. So for this year, we have some amazing supporting partners like Amazon Web Services, who will provide the prizes for startups. We will also have different kind of workshops and masterclasses for founders. For example, the masterclass and workshop about the fundraising, so how to fundraise properly. We are preparing this together with one of the biggest like audit and consulting firm from Big Four. Cannot announce yet because we are still finalizing the agreement. So, but yes, for startups, it's a great opportunity to present their project to industry leaders, to have the booth at one of the major events globally. Right. And also, like normally startups, they're raising money, so it's good for them to present to investors and potentially raise money from these investors, from these VCs. Right,
brilliant. So, so looking at the Wow Summit, the 6th edition of the Wow Summit, which is to be held in Hong Kong. Okay, so I see, you have brought together, there will be, industry leaders, government officials, investment funds, venture capitals, NFTs and digital artists, and so on and so forth. And you have brought this whole crypto space under one roof. And what are you trying to achieve out of this event?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we try to make World Summit different from other crypto and blockchain events where you have just only the conference and some exhibition, and that's it. So first of all, we are trying also to make it more interesting for attendees. An example, this year we are preparing the digital art exhibition curated by Sotheby's, so the oldest auction house. So I think this is great example how we are showing the bridge between like traditional world and Web2 and like real life and Web3, because so Sotheby's has like 275 years of history, and I think this is one of the most conservative auction houses in the world,
right?
And the biggest one actually. So, but at the same time, quite a few people know that Sotheby's has the metaverse department and metaverse and creative art and NFT department. So, so Sotheby's will be showcasing some artworks and generative AI art by some famous artists. So showcasing like their collection of this. And actually they will also participate in our agenda and program, so curate the panel discussion about like the digital art, NFT, and the bridge between traditional art and digital art. So what we're trying to do is to showcase the real life use cases and the bridge between like real world and Web3, and also bringing all these people together. So I think it's great to make some kind of like dialogue between the government, between corporates, between startup founders, NFT and digital artists, entrepreneurs. So our Hong Kong event is also like fully supported by Hong Kong government. So work very close with Invest Hong Kong, with Hong Kong Tourism Board, with Financial Services Development Council, with local technology hub like Cyberport. So trying to bring all these people together, and we will have also traditional institutions, banks like HSBC, like Standard Chartered. So we will have many startups, we will have Web3 companies, we will have Web2 companies like Amazon Web Services. So yeah, trying to bring people together and make the dialogue about the future of internet, future of digital assets. So the real life use cases and adoption of the blockchain technology.
So do you think that Hong Kong is ready to take on these partnerships? Is the Hong Kong government ready with their policies, their regulations? Will the Hong Kong securities come in the middle and say no to these things, or what do you think in general about Hong Kong with regard to crypto? My final question.
Yes, I think Hong Kong is on the right track. So comparing, so I was here like for more than 8 years, and I saw all the changes in regulations and community since 2017. So and I would say, so I'm really glad to see what's happening right now. And Hong Kong, like Hong Kong was closed for COVID with many COVID restrictions for more than 3 years. And last year, our event, World Summit Hong Kong, was actually the first large-scale event here in Web3 space after Hong Kong reopening. So Hong Kong fully reopened like in the beginning of March, and our event was at the end of March. So and what I see from the Hong Kong government, they are really trying to listen to the community. They are really trying to make the collaboration with FinTech Association of Hong Kong, so with different kind of blockchain associations, with legal firms that are that are serving clients in Web3 space and in crypto space, and all these kind of like new regulations and new guidelines. They were developed in like consultation process with all these like ecosystem players. There are of course some challenges, and I think in some procedures, so the government is quite slow. So, an example, for the last 2 years, only 3 licenses for the virtual asset trading platforms that could serve the retail customers were granted. So, like, and the process for this is very complicated and also expensive. So, even players like OKX, they haven't got their license yet. They applied, but yeah, they're still waiting for the approval. Yeah, but in common, I would say that if Hong Kong will implement the clear regulations on exchanges, on stable coins, which are coming. So I do believe that it has like the big chance to become one of the most dominating like virtual asset and Web3 hub in Asia. So, and what we also see with this WOW Summit, comparing to the last year. So last year we had quite, I think maybe 80% of exhibitors from Southeast Asia, from Hong Kong and Southeast Asia at our event. So what we see this year is we see like a huge interest from companies from US, from Canada, from Europe, from Middle East, to show Hong Kong and explore the Hong Kong opportunity for their business. So this year, I think 70% of exhibitors at WOW Summit will be from outside of Hong Kong. So this is and this is great to see, because that means that companies and Web3 projects from other countries, they're really considering Hong Kong as one of the best points to develop the Web3 business.
Well, in your own words, as you said, as the WOW Summit says, you know, innovation knows no bounds. I hope that this WOW Summit also does not have any boundaries for its innovation. Thank you for your time, Ivan, and hope you have a great day.